Ramen Nation, Chris Cobain here, bringing you guys the XRL, the Ramen League, week number 7 game of the week, as your boy Anarchy and Melly's favorite block logo, his Vancouver Victinis, take on my boy Devon and his Tampa Bay Turtwigs in a phenomenal match. So, take a look at the teams here. Both teams currently sit at 2-4 at the halfway point in the regular season, but despite their records, both of them have played very well all season. Anarchy is in the red division, which is very much the hardest in the league, and of course, all the division matchups were done early, so he's already faced all 4 of the division matchups, and they're all tough. Everybody in the red division is a very tough competitor. So, he's not played bad at all, and Devon's also played well as well. He loves to throw the memes in, which, you know, obviously can deter you at some points, but he still plays well every game. And both these guys are good coaches and good battlers, so the record doesn't mean a whole lot here in terms of the quality of the match. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the teams. It's going to be Anarchy on our side is playing as Leaf. You guys should know this. This is his 3rd appearance now on Game of the Week, which I think is the most. There's a couple people who've done 2. I think he's the only one who's done 3 now. And Devon, as on the opposing side, is Devon making his Game of the Week debut. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Starting with Anarchy on our side, he's rocking Noivern, Mimikyu, Gardevoir, Rhydon, Volcarona, and his Mega Blastoise. So he just brings that pure power with this team, with the potential of Specs, Noivern, Corvidance, Volcarona, the powerful bulk of Rhydon, the offensive capabilities of Mimikyu, obviously, and then just the pure, unadulterated destruction that is Mega Blastoise plus his spinning, obviously. So, taking a look at Devon's team, he leads off with his boy Thunderous, obviously, NPA Season 3 MVP. Thank you very much. Who was, was it number 1 on Pokemon? I don't think it was number 1 on Pokemon of the Week, but a few weeks ago it was on Pokemon of the Week. So, his Mega Steelix, Alola Marowak, Durant, who's a new member of his team, got in a trade, Manabuzz, and Uxie, or not. I can't remember, dude. I mix them up. The only one I know is Azelf instantly. Which one do they call it? I'm going to go with Uxie. I don't remember. So the leads are Thunderous versus Noivern. This could go either way in terms of who has the lead matchup, because obviously Anarchy is going to have to fear that Choice Scarf potential Hidden Power Ice, so it's going to make him wary. And obviously if Devon's not scarfed, he doesn't want to eat a Draco and all that stuff, so the lead can go either way. It's just a matter of how aggressive each player wants to go literally on turn 1. So, so as I said, leads are going to come through here, as you're going to see Devon lead off with his boy Thunderous. Therian and Noivern comes out for the opposing side. So, first thing you want to note here is the Frisk ability on Noivern, which is really cool because it's going to frisk out that Expert Belt, meaning Anarchy no longer has to feel that Choice Scarf set, knowing he's fast. But making more of a prediction on a switch potential here, he's going to go ahead and U-turn out. He's got a fairly safe switch in as he reveals the Life Orb to Thunderous in general and Rhydon, which is what he's going to switch into to eat up any potential U-turns or, of course, Volt Switch. But Devon on turn 1 goes all in, full aggression, does not care about potential Draco Meteors, goes full on aggression, Grass Knots, and it pays off with the turn 1 kill, which is insanely good. So now Gardevoir's going to come out. I told Anarchy that I felt like his switch into Rhydon was a misplay because you could trace Voltozor with Gardevoir and have that same immunity without having anything you're really weak to. The only bad downside would be you take a decent chunk of U-turn if he clicked it. So, out comes not Azelf, which is the Uxie. I'm going to stick with my guns and just keep calling this Uxie. Moonblast is going to come through here, do a solid like 30-something%, going to lower the special attack as well on the Uxie, and going to switch out. If I'm calling it the wrong one, just stick with it, because I'm never going to stop. I'm pretty sure it's Uxie, though. So Blastoise, Mega Blastoise will come out as the light screen comes through, allowing the Uxie to take a little bit more hits on the special side, namely the Dark Pulse potential that obviously Mega Launcher Mega Blastoise has. So out comes the Mega Evolution. Nice and easy. You got a free reign to click whatever he wants here. He's going to, as the Uxie's going to click U-turn, revealing a very fast spread on this or at the very least a slower variant of Mega Blastoise here. Just Roll Over is going to make the play back out. Very risky on Devon's part as the Scald comes through, but he does have the light screen up, just has to hope for no crit, which he does get. Actually, no, it does crit. Okay, but he lives, which is actually really impressive, but that really sucks for Thundurus because now he's on really low health. But of course, now he's got to worry about this Gardevoir coming out, tracing that Volt Absorb, and eating up those hits, but he is carrying U-Turn, always the right play really in these draft formats. If you ever see an electric immunity with one of these Pokemon like Coco or Thundy who can do either or, it's always better to run U-Turn just to be safe. Robo-Ant's going to make the come out here, which is the Durant. Gardevoir does not want to stand and take any potential Iron Head shenanigans here, so he will switch right out into Blastoise. Potential for Devon there, maybe to click the Hone Claws into the Thunderfang if he's carrying it, but he just goes right up for the aggressive play. Does not get it, gets a little bit of chip damage, moves on with his life. So the Uxies are going to make the play back out onto the field as the Blastoise goes ahead and fires off another Scald. He got one crit on the first Scald, and this time he gets a second crit, but no burn again. So 2 crits, no burns. Super rude. Scald's broken for reasons of burning, not for reasons of critting. That's just the game. Another U-turn comes with the Uxie, allowing him to switch into something here. He's going to jump into Pebbles, which will be the Mandibuzz. Of course, the screen still active. A third Scald, fishing for a third crit. Does not get it, but gets the burn because Scald. So he's gotten the positive aspect on all 3 of his Scalds now, even though you know, they shouldn't be doing damage thanks to the screen, and that's going to really suck for potential physical attacks on the Mandibuzz's side, potentially things like Foul Play and U-Turn. Blastoise going to switch out, go ahead and jump into the Gardevoir here, which is going to trace the Overcoat. Man, that blanked for a second, I knew that. The knockoff's going to come through from the Mandibuzz, but it's not going to do a lot thanks to that burn, but it does knock off a Choice Scarf, which is very, very huge, because that means that Thundurus is now guaranteed to be fast on this, which otherwise could be very problematic, especially with this being a more or less electric immunity when it switches in, and Thundurus being so low. So Anarchy goes for the prediction there, an aggressive play predicting a switch for the Mandibuzz not wanting to take a Moonblast, but Devon does stay in, play it risky, so the Psychic fails, and he gets the U-turn, and more importantly, he gets the free switch into Thundurus, which is huge. Gardevoir is forced to stay in here because nothing on Anarchy's team can afford to take a Thunderbolt, and that's going to be the Gardevoir, and more importantly, the end of that more or less electric immunity. So now every time that Thundurus is able to come out for free, it's able to fire off a Thunderbolt and deal massive damage to everything on Anarchy's team, which is going to be a huge, huge problem with Anarchy. And currently, it is 6-on-4, so Anarchy's looking to be in a bad position here. So out goes Thundurus, obviously switching into the Mandibuzz, who's going to go ahead and take the Life Orb Dragon Pulse from the Noivern. Does not take it incredibly well, but thanks to the fact that he's going to be running Leftovers instead of that Rocky Helmet, he will be able to neutralize the burn damage and be able to take another Dragon Pulse really, really poorly. Assuming that Anarchy does not get a high roll, of course, or a roll higher than that one anyway. But Anarchy is going to go for the Air Slash, which is weaker, but can pick up the flinch. Takes that Life Orb shot, but does not get the flinch. So the knockoff is going to come through here. I don't know how much I like the play in general, because it does weaken Noivern a little bit, but it also takes away from that little bit of chip damage you've been getting from each time it attacks. And Noivern is a huge threat to Devon's team right now, but it is a little less powerful, which could come back to help him later in the match. Not wanting to die just yet, Mandibuzz is going to go in and make the switch into Steelix, who's going to easily eat up this non-Life Orb Dragon Pulse. It still does decent damage, all things considered, a little over 25%, and that was actually a critical hit, so Anarchy is just all over this RNG right now, just all the crits, the burns with Skull, all that fun stuff. Steelix has the free reign to Mega. It is able to eat up a Flamethrower from this point, but Anarchy, knowing that, does not want to stay and eat a potential Heavy Slam or a Gyro Ball, so we'll take the switch instead with the U-turn and go ahead and make the switch into Mega Blastoise here to eat up any potential steel attacks, but the Steelix is going to go and reveal Toxic to get that timer going on the Blastoise, potentially wear that down later. Not a bad play. Could have went right off for the damage, but Toxic on this makes more sense than what a Heavy Slam would do, because Heavy Slam would do essentially 0. So, Out goes Steelix, in comes Pebbles, which is obviously just a fodder switch at this point. No way it's going to take anything that this Blastoise throws at it. So the does come out, take that Skull. Blastoise is going to go ahead and pick up a kill. And Devon, importantly, gets a free switch, which we've already brought up how big that is. So easy switch into Thundurus here. Free Thunderbolts. Blastoise is not the one that wants to take it here, so he will be switching out Nakuro, which is a good play because that's going to be the Mimikyu. So the Mimikyu gets a one-time free switch in on this thanks to that all-powerful, very good disguise ability. Air freshener in the back. But that will go away. Now, Devon obviously needs to fear Shadow Sneak here. Does not want Thundurus to die. Thundurus is far too important in this game, so he will make the switch out and jump into Steelix to eat up any attack that this thing's going to throw at it. The Shadow Sneak will come through as Anarchy doesn't want to play risky, go for an aggressive play like Swords Dance or even Shadow Claw to predict the switch and then all of a sudden be dead to some kind of attack. Who knows what Thundurus is carrying? It gets everything. Obviously, Mimikyu does not want to stay in to try to attempt to fight a Steelix. Mega Steelix at that, so he will switch out into Blastoise as Devon goes for Rocks, which is really a good play at this point because the biggest fear on the team, on Anarchy's team right now, is obviously Noivern. So taking that 25% every single time is going to force Blastoise to click Rapid Spin, which it will, which will grant a free attack off for the Steelix, obviously. He will go for Heavy Slam, though. So I don't know what the prediction was, or if he just isn't carrying Earthquake or what, but he does get a critical hit, so it does do pretty decent damage. But he will make the play to stay in this time and let Steelix go, which seems like not a great play, as it still would be able to take a Flamethrower from Noivern. Now at this point, it kind of seems like Devon's going to get railed by Noivern and just lose. He does pick up the kill with the Toxic, which is really nice. So Blastoise does go down. So it's a trade-off there. Out comes Wyvern. And this is where Anarchy makes a fatal mistake. I don't think he noticed the Frisk. Comes through, finds a Choice Scarf, which is super cool for a Durant. I don't know if he just missed it or what, but he stays in and eats the Rock Slide. Maybe he didn't even think this thing was carrying Rock Slide. Maybe thought he could take like an Iron Head or something, which he wouldn't have for what the record. But he stays in and eats it. This is actually a Swarm Durant instead of a Hustle Durant, so it's not risking that miss the way it normally was, which is a really cool play. The Mimikyu is going to go out with a Revenge Kill. Shadow Claw as the Uxie comes out and eats it, dies, which is completely fair because that's going to allow Durant to come back out yet again with that Choice Scarf. Obviously Iron Head potential, but he's going to make the play instead of going to Marowak because he wants Marowak to put in work. So it's an unconventional play. Obviously the Shadow Claw is going to come through. It's not going to kill because it's Marowak, and obviously Shadow Bone is going to absolutely tear Mimikyu in half. Obviously the best play would be Durant, who's far faster and easily one-tap with Iron Head, but he wants to show off Marowak a little bit, which is fair. Out comes Spoicy, which is the Volcarona, which, to be fair, still has pretty decent potential to clean the game up here. The Fire Blast will come through and will pick up the kill on the Marowak, not by a ton. That could actually be where Devon messed up his game there. If he would just let Durant kill the Mimikyu, he could have had Marowak fight the Volcarona. So he will switch into Thundurus here, which is going to go ahead and go for the Thunderbolt. He said at this point he was fearing the Focus Sash, which is why he didn't go for the Durant for the Rock Slide. So he figured he'd pick up some chip damage instead. Anarchy could have clicked Quiver Dance there and maybe started to do some work, but it's not the play he makes. He does go right up for the Bug Buzz, pick up the kill, getting another kill for Volcarona. And then obviously Durant's able to come out and use Aerial Ace, which is just so cool. And that's going to go ahead and pick up the kill. No risks for the Rock Slide missing, obviously. Don't need to take that risk, especially when it's at half. And the Aerial Ace is able to pretty easily pick up that kill and win Devon the game in a really close, really good 1-0. So there were definitely some misplays in this match. That is to be sure. Not every play was perfect. The biggest mistake in this one was obviously Noivern staying in and eating that Rock Slide. At that point in time, he had Mimikyu at full health and a Volcarona. Obviously, you don't want to switch into Volcarona there because Rock Slide's too easy. And he might wanted to avoid Mimikyu coming in just because of potential Iron Head plays. At the end of the day, Anarchy might have just felt that his best play was to let Noivern die and then switch up. Maybe if he went for Iron Head, he was like, I can go into Volcarona and set up Quiver Dance and win the game. But it doesn't work out that way. The Rock Slide's too strong. The set is too strong. Durant is definitely, not 100%, but definitely is in contention for Pokemon of the Week. Just because Scarf Durant with Aerial Ace and Rock Slide, that's applause for that kind of stuff. And of course, it puts in pretty solid work. I think it picks up, it just picks up 2, which is the Noivern and the Volcarona, which are both huge pivotal kills to help Devon win. So, good game to both guys involved. I don't think anyone's got anything to be ashamed of here. It's a good match overall. A little bit of misplays, like I said, on both sides, but nothing too egregious, you know. Everything can be explained in some way or another, and it's overall a really good match. And definitely from everything in Week 7, definitely was what I felt deserved to be Game of the Week. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. If you guys want to watch these matches live, all of them, all 10 that we have every week, you can always do so over at twitch.tv/xChrisCobain. We watch them on Sundays starting at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Be there. These matches are really, really cool. Seriously, like the amount of stuff that goes on in these matches each and every week. The streams aren't super long, but they're hella entertaining. At least to me, the matches are anyway. Especially when you get to witness what's going to be on #1 on Pokemon of the Week this week. I can't wait for that video. But again, thank you for watching. Of course, Pokemon of the Week will come out on Friday, right on time, as it normally will. In fact, this video actually might be late, depending on where you are. It'll be uploaded on late Wednesday my time, but if you're somewhere else in the world, it might be already Thursday. So if that's the case, whoops. Not really, though, because I did it on time. But thank you guys for watching. Again, I do appreciate it. We'll see you guys for Pokemon of the Week for Week 7 on Friday. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time, all right? All right, peace, Ramen Nation. See you.